Buying into the value of domestic life is tough for Americans. We're a hero culture. We all want to be heroes in our own right. We all want to stick out in some amazing way, or we think we're cellophane. But, and it's obviously more glamorous to traverse the planet, as a famous person, or go and land big deals as a business person, than it is to take extra time to play board games with your kids, right? Or go out on dates with your spouse. And yet, God says that the home is the best big deal you can ever get involved with. He values it because he sees more than just what's happening. He sees what the future holds. And how we invest in the now affects the future. Being famous as a doctor or a lawmaker or a therapist or a designer or something like that, obviously, those are cool things. But what you're really doing is introducing yourself to the world in a very specific way to a lot of people, but in a very specific way to those people. But when you participate as a dad or a mom, in a real way, you're becoming sort of everything to the few. You're not just one thing to a bunch, you're everything to a few. And because you're there and because you're investing and participating in life, you can help children, particularly, contextualize life and get life better. You're not just there, teaching them how to dance in one moment in their lives. You're actually there talking about where their strengths fit and where their weaknesses fit or need to be negotiated. You're actually helping them to discover when it's good to work really hard and when it's good to have some leisure. You give them a sense of what life is, not just one point of life. Or maybe you help them to understand when it's appropriate to be libertarian, when you should just do whatever you want to do, and when it's appropriate to be more restrictive and to call some of your impulses into check, right? You just want to follow your mouth, or you get really large, right? Or you just don't want to want to work all the time, or you get really weird. Right? So you help them to sort of determine the balances that are present in life. Or you look at kids, and there are times when they're hopeful, and then there are times when they face disappointment. Well, you're there as a parent to help them negotiate through that. One of my favorite stories growing up in my life was my mother. She's the Hispanic mother. And she was very engaged, probably more so than she should have been. But, she would go with me to everything. And I remember I was playing little peewee ball. My father was Turkish and never played any games or anything, so he never gave us the fatherly instruction. So I was pretty much the last one picked, for sports. So I was pretty bad, right? So I'm standing up there at peewee ball, and my hopes were that, I'm going to be able to play and hit this ball well. And I remember standing there and didn't hold the bat right, didn't do right. But anyway, I tried my best. And the ball comes in, and I swing. And as I swung, it hit me right on my fingers really hard. And I remember stopping. I thought, well, I'm going to walk because it hit me. Well, the ump didn't see that I got hit. So he said, where are you going? I said, well, it hit me. He said, I didn't see that. I said, all right. So I got back up there. And I swung again. And what are the chances of this? I swung my bat, and it hit me the exact same spot. And tears started filling my eyes, I was really little. I was 17 or something. No, I was probably 8. Anyways, I was swinging, and it hit me, and I started tearing up, and I was trying to gather myself, and I couldn't do it. And my mom's sitting in the thing, and she goes, Edwin, come here, because she could see I was hurt. And I, in utter shame, dropped the bat and just started walking off the field. And I'm feeling like I might as well die. But I'll never forget, my mom, she pulled me aside and she looked in my face and she said, listen. She said, you don't have to be a good ball player. She said, to be honest with you, you don't really have to be good at all that much. You know why? Why? She goes, because you're a gunger. I remember thinking, it was like a brown ooze strength flooded into my soul. I remember I thought, I'm a gunger. Now, by the time I realized that meant nothing! It meant nothing! But by the time I realized that, I had some sense of personhood. To this day, I'm just so thankful to my mom that she helped me define my life not by what I did, but by who I was. And it has given me a strength to stand up and make it through the warp and the woof the up and the down of life. See, that's the kind of power a parent has, a mom has, to be there, to contextualize life, not just to be the expert that teaches play or the expert that teaches work or the expert that helps you in one aspect where you're famously known for some particular issue. You're famously known because you're everything in the lives of those children. Powerful place. At least that's what God says.